Right. Welcome to the press this morning. I hope you're having a beautiful morning out there. Barakat the Salah to our Muslim brothers and sisters. Do enjoy the commemoration of the birth of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. This morning, as usual, we'll take you through the newspapers. But before we do that, we first of all look at the weather forecast from a number of a few cities around town, around Nigeria. And we will be starting from home. Let's start from home, and then we go to Kano, and then from Kano we go to Jos, and from Jos we go on like that. So this morning we start from the Center of Unity, Abuja. And Abuja is likely to have 23 degrees Celsius temperature, and it's also expected to rise as high as 28 degrees Celsius and may dip by 1 degrees to 22 degrees Celsius. It's expected to be cloudy, and rainy conditions are expected from 9, that is from about now, to 10 a.m. With thunderstorm expected at 6 p.m. Now from Abuja, like I said before, we go to Kano up north, northwest. It's expected to also have 23 degrees Celsius like Abuja, and it's expected to be cloudy for most part of the day. It's also expected to rise as high as 28 degrees Celsius and go to 22 degrees Celsius if it goes down. And then rainy conditions are expected around 9 a.m. at about now, and wind gusts are up to 12 miles per hour. And then from there we'll go to Jos. Jos is expected to be freezing today compared to elsewhere in Nigeria, if we have the reality of the prediction of 19 degrees Celsius. 19 degrees Celsius, and it's expected to be cloudy. Peak temperature is expected to be at 24 degrees Celsius, and indeed it might also go a little bit lower to 18 degrees Celsius. And apart from the cloudy weather, rainy conditions are expected around 1 p.m. and wind gusts are up to 7 miles per hour. And then from Jos we go to Lokoja. Lokoja is just around us here. It's expected to have 25 degrees Celsius and cloudy. From 25, it might rise and peak at 30 degrees Celsius and may also come down to 24 degrees Celsius. Rainy conditions are expected around 3 p.m. and wind gusts are up to 10 miles per hour. From Lokoja, we go to Lagos. Lagos is the commercial nerve center, the commercial capital of Nigeria, former federal capital also. It's in the southwest, or the south, the southwest. It's expected to have 25 degrees Celsius, just like Lokoja, and might rise as high as 30 degrees Celsius and also dip to 24 degrees Celsius. It's expected to be partly cloudy, and cloudy conditions expected around noon. Wind gusts are up to 8 miles per hour. And then from Lagos, we go to the southeast, and in Enugu, temperature is expected to be averagely 24 degrees Celsius and mostly cloudy, but may peak at 29 degrees Celsius and come down a little to 23 degrees Celsius. Partly cloudy conditions are expected around 4 p.m. and wind gusts are up to 11 miles per hour. Akure is in the southwest, and it's expected to be 22 degrees Celsius for most part of the day. That's the closest to Jos, if I recall. And cloudy, and from 22 degrees Celsius, it might rise as high as 29 degrees Celsius and come down a little further to 21 degrees Celsius. Apart from being cloudy throughout, it's particularly expected at 1 p.m. Wind gusts are up to 11 miles per hour. And in Benin City, the ancient city of Benin, is expected to experience 24 degrees Celsius and will be mostly cloudy. From 24 degrees Celsius, it might go as high as 30 degrees Celsius and may come to a floor of 23 degrees Celsius. And partly cloudy conditions expected around 1 p.m. Wind gusts are up to 9 miles per hour. And then you have Yenagoa. Yenagoa is capital of Bayelsa. It's in the south, and it's expected to be partly cloudy with 24 degrees Celsius and may get to a max of 30 degrees Celsius and a minimum of 23 degrees Celsius. Partly cloudy conditions and rainy conditions expected around 4 p.m. Wind gusts are up to 7 miles per hour. And from Kaduna, from Yenagoa, we go to Kaduna, that's up north again, and it's expected to be 22 degrees Celsius, just like in Akure. And then rain is expected in Kaduna for most part, and it might max out at 27 degrees Celsius and fall to 21 degrees Celsius in the course of the day. Cloudy conditions are expected around 5 p.m. Wind gusts are up to 8 miles per hour. And we take Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt is expected to have 24 degrees Celsius, mostly cloudy, and may rise as high as 30 degrees Celsius and come down to 23 degrees Celsius, the lowest point. And while it's expected to be mostly cloudy, rainy conditions are expected around 3 p.m. and wind gusts are up to 8 miles per hour. And finally, Owerri in the southeast is expected to have 24 degrees Celsius, might max out at 29 degrees Celsius and come down to 23 degrees Celsius in the course of the day. It's expected to be mostly cloudy, and partly cloudy conditions expected around 1 p.m. and wind gusts are up to 9 miles per hour. I do hope that with this, you should be ready to hit the road for your itinerary today. This should help you in planning your itinerary. It should help you to organize what you wear, to be ready for weather, and to set your appointments right so you know where to go when and in what costume, in what kind of clothes. If you have to prepare against rain, you need your umbrella, you probably need your raincoat and all that and all that. I do hope that you have a very great day today, especially as we have equipped you with this information. Now we go right to the newspaper headlines, and this morning I will be starting with the Guardian newspaper, followed by Daily Independent and the Blueprint and so on and so forth. So if you're there, sit back, relax, and hear what's trending, what's in this news space. And so from the Guardian leads with how bias for sports entertainment reinforces school scam myth. Yeah, and you have the picture story there of our sports people, and then below that you have ADC Audu Obi fault Tinubu's fiscal triumphs as cruelty over compassion. And then also you have police summon El Rufai ADC leaders for alleged conspiracy. And then you have Oshun Algon accuses CBN of sabotaging LG payments. You also have retired soldiers protest lacks merit, defense headquarters insists. And then you have 70% of telecom downtime linked to energy issues. And then right below the masthead of the Guardian, on top of the major headline, you have three pieces. The first one says Tinubu embarks on 10-day working vacation in Europe. And then you also have 80 million Nigerian youths jobless, 1,500 schools shut in 2 years, says report. And then you also have WHO or WHO and AU tasked Nigeria on 2001 declaration, 20% public health spending. That's it from the Guardian, and then we go straight to the Daily Independent that is leading this morning with opposition queries Tinubu's admin revenue growth claims. With the riders, questions why FG is still borrowing if it met revenue target. Another rider says 5% petrol tax cruel will compound misery of Nigerians. And also you have another rider says Obi criticizes FG over protesting ex-soldiers, retired public servants. And then you have a picture story of the president leaving the country and having a handshake with some of the governors, his staff. I guess that's Hope Uzodinma there, governor of Imo State. And below that picture story, you have Nigeria's politics full of betrayals, lies, says Jonathan. And then by the side of that picture story, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. The first one says federal government eyes 10 billion naira SCF of gas production by 2030. And then you have police summon El Rufai, top ADC chieftains. And you also have DHQ orders protesting ex-soldiers to vacate finance ministry premises. Also, Lagos raises the alarm over looming environmental collapse of lagoon. And finally, in that part, you have IGP names CSP Benjamin Hundeyin as new force PRO. And then there's a strip at the bottom of the paper. It says Tinubu heads to Europe on working vacation. And then on top of the masthead, you have 2 pieces. This one says 80 million Nigerian youths unemployed, 1,500 schools shut in 2 years. Report. And then INEC receives 171 letters of intent for registration of parties. And with the rider confirms 2.8 million voters for Anambra gubernatorial poll. All right, 2.8 million voters for Anambra gubernatorial poll. That's it from the Daily Independent. We'll go to the blueprint. The blueprint leads with federal government to states and LGs. Increase your health budgets, ensure full releases. With the riders, core responsibilities lie with subnationals. Another rider, Basic Healthcare Fund, NHIA, others may support. Another rider says current funding can't meet needs of 220 million Nigerians. That's Bagudu speaking there. And then you have, by the side of that, how I was betrayed during 2015 elections. That's Jonathan. And then you have this picture story under, at the middle of the paper, you have the Minister of Information and some of his team, that's Sunday Diary there, and so on. And below that, you have your grievances ill-conceived. DHQ tells protesting ex-soldiers. With the rider, troops arrest 85 suspected terrorists, rescue 66 victims. And then there are 3 pieces below that. You have federal government has not increased prices of CNG. PCNGI clarifies. New Ebola outbreak in Democratic Republic of Congo kills 15. And then you have number of political associations seeking registration rises to 171. And okay, right below the masthead of the paper, you have news. IGP names CSP, that must be Chief Superintendent of Police, Hundeyin, new force PRO. And then business news, Customs commences automation of excise register system. And finally, you have in sports, World Cup qualifier. We're ready for Rwanda, Ekong. That does it for the blueprint. And then we go to the Matrix newspaper, which is leading this morning with insecurity. Military in fresh crackdown on terrorists and bandits. There are about 3 riders to that, or 4. It says kills 26 terrorists, suspected kidnappers, key bandit kingpins in Benue, Borno, Plateau states. And then another rider says destroy 17 illegal refining sites in Niger Delta. Also, tearful Zamfara governor vows to crush banditry in 60 days if, all right, if. So we probably need to find out what the if is. And then you have, right there you have the picture story of the president's departure out of the country in handshake with Sanwo-Olu and Gbajabiamila there. And by the side of that story, you have El Rufai ADC leaders face police probe over alleged conspiracy, public unrest. You also have Tinubu departs Abuja for 10-day working vacation in Europe. And below that, you have why I walked away from Fela's band, Femi Kuti. And then nylon traders embark on cleaning exercise, vow to partner government on cleaner, healthier Lagos state. You also have blocking Lukman's move, not fair. Odanwije slams Atalanta. And on top of the major headline, you have ADC to Tinubu, your revenue claims based on lies. With the rider says 5% petrol tax is cruel, insensitive. Also, you have federal government splashes 1.85 billion naira on education rehabilitation of rescued Chibok girls. On top of the masthead of the matrix, you have Dangote Group warns truck drivers against misuse of company's logo. That's all that the matrix has got. And then we go to this day. This day leads with Jonathan. Nigerian politics is full of traitors, liars. With the writer, they will tell you something, the next hour they are saying another. Another writer says he has witnessed a lot of betrayals. And then you have a picture story there of the meeting at the World Health Organization headquarters in Geneva. And then that's it there. But on top of the major headline, you have police summon ex-Kaduna Gov, El Rufai, others for disturbance of public peace. And on top of that, you have a strip saying Tinubu departs Abuja for 10-day working leave in Europe. And on top of the masthead, you have this strip saying Giorgio Armani, iconic Italian fashion designer, dies at 91. And on top of that, you have CBN replacing civil servants with APC members as LG account signatories, says Oshun Algon. With the writer demands urgent investigation. Okay. And then we go to the Nigerian Tribune. The Nigerian Tribune leads with most Nigerian politicians not dependable. Jonathan speaking there. And with the writer says politics in Nigeria is about betrayals. They will tell you something this minute, in the next hour they say another, he adds. And then under that you have this picture story. The governor of Ekiti State there, with a check of 10 million. Well, maybe you go get the details of that. Now, beside that picture story, you have 1,844 killed in southeast Nigeria between January 2021 and June 2023. Amnesty International is the one giving that report. And then you have Tinubu embarks on 10 working days vacation, departs for Europe. And then Lagos government warns over looming environmental collapse of lagoon. Commissioner condemns illegal dredging. And then under that picture story, you have Oshun Algon raises alarm over alleged plots to divert local government funds. With the writer, wants CBN governor to investigate how the bank opened LG accounts with APC members as signatories instead of civil servants. Their submission lacks merit, should be ignored, says Oshun APC. Okay. So on top of the Nigerian Tribune masthead, there are these two pieces. Non-oil revenue target. Obi tackles Tinubu. Wants president to suspend new tax regime and says leadership is about reducing burden. Showdown looms between Ayedatiwa and local government bosses on federal allocation funds. That is it from the Tribune, and then we'll go to the Punch. The Punch leads with Afenifere northern leaders demand state police amid delays. With the writer, federal government defense delay says security reforms undergoing due process framework with states. Also, another writer says Afenifere, MBF, PANDEF insist state policing overdue. Northern leaders press for action. And then you have a picture story of Muslim faithfuls celebrating Eid al-Maulud right there. And below those pictures, you have these three pieces. The first one says, train derailment sparks NRC reorganization. And then you have panic as 5 bodies found along Lagos riverbank. Also, you have CBT. WAEC mandates 250 computers, CCTV for schools. And on top of, okay, just by the masthead of the Punch, you have Oshun Algon challenges CBN over LG account signatories. And on top of that, you have 3 pieces. This first one says, federal government seeks fresh $1.75 billion World Bank loan. And then you have new parties seeking INEC registration surge to 171. And then finally, you have Jonathan blames betrayal for 2015 election loss. That's it from the Punch. Vanguard leads with opposition mounts against federal government's 5% tax on petrol, diesel. With these four riders. The first one says stakeholders push against Tinubu's 5% fuel tax. Will mobilize Nigerians against it. JAF vows. And then you have why Tinubu's 5% fuel tax should wait. Peter Obi. 5% petrol tax is a cruel burden on struggling Nigerians. ADC. And then you have the picture story of the president leaving the country. And below that picture story, you have 2027, resurrecting zoning is regressive. Olawepo Hashim support groups. With the rider, one of consequences as Hashim vows to contest presidency. And then in sports, 2026 World Cup qualifier, Super Eagles focused on Amavubi, not Bafana. That's Ekong speaking. And then on top of the Vanguard masthead, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Tinubu's development agenda driven by national interest, not politics. That's one of the ministers speaking. Osun LG crisis. Algon, APC disagree over signatories to accounts with CBN. We won't allow APC rig 2027 elections. Ambassador Yisa. And then you have, please invite El Rufai ADC leaders over alleged conspiracy, incitement. Ex-governor Flay's move to stop opposition meetings. And then you have a strip at the topmost part of the paper saying federal government makes tax identification mandatory for banking allied services. And leadership is the next paper. And after that, we'll take the Daily Trust. Leadership leads with Northern governors back Tinubu's renewed push for state police. With the rider, Arewa Consultative Forum, Afenifere Middle Belt Forum also support President's resolve. And then you have this trip, after family of 3 tragic deaths, Abuja Council moves against touts. And then you have picture stories of our Super Eagles in training. And then you have the death toll from Niger boat accident hits 31. 31, when some other accounts have said 60. Well, okay, Tinubu begins 10-day leave. Wike unveils 50% fertilizer subsidy for Abuja farmers. Flood alerts issued to 9 northern and 5 southern states. And you have police invite El Rufai, 6 other ADC leaders for questioning. Italian fashion icon Giorgio Armani dies at 91. And then on top of the major headline, directly under the masthead of the Leadership Friday, or Friday Leadership, you have 2027, resurrecting zoning is regressive. That's Olawepo Hashim support groups. With the rider, one of looming consequences as Hashim vows to contest presidency. That's it. That's it from the leadership newspapers. And finally, we take the Daily Trust. The Daily Trust newspaper leads with as federal government issues fresh flood alert, Taraba communities submerged. And then you have police invite El Rufai ADC leaders over alleged criminal conspiracy. And then you have these 3 pieces below that strip. Tax law, Nigerians to pay additional 45 naira per litre of petrol. Okay, couple's death, how we operate. Surviving tout is the one speaking. And then Sultan seeks end to insecurity. Directly below the Daily Trust masthead, you have these 3 pieces. The first one, ex-soldiers resume protest over unpaid entitlements. And then you have Tinubu departs for Europe on 10-day vacation. And how I was betrayed by Jonathan. That's that's it for all the headlines, and I do hope that you have been journeying with us, and at this point we'll take a break so we can take a breather, and when we get back, my guest will be introduced, and then we'll take a number of the headlines that appeal to him and that is interested in to give us his perspective on them. And in the course of that, we will also open the phone line just in case you out there are interested in weighing in. Did I tell you that my name is Dayo Omogun? I'll be right back after this break. All right, welcome back to the press, and joining me right now is my guest, Barrister Myclem Aguiyi. It's good to have you.
Thank you very much, Dayo, and happy Salah.
All right, Baraka Salah. All right, and we have read the headlines. I hope that you were with us when we did, and the major stories that run through the gamut of the papers that we read, about 10 of them. The betrayal story by Jonathan, who says that Nigerian politicians are just a bundle of betrayers, and that was why he suffered the loss in 2015. And then there's also the story about flood alerts in several states, and with Taraba singled out by Daily Trust as one state that has several of its communities submerged, and that's a serious one there. And then you have El Rufai being asked to report at the police facility with 6 other ADC leaders because of, according to the police, because of disturbance of the peace. You also have the 10-day vacation that Mr. President is embarking on in Europe. And which other one should we be looking at? So where do you want to start from? Let's take the president's vacation abroad. I thought he had already gone on one vacation this year also, where he also took 10 days or so, and that was in France, if I recall. What do you make of this?
Well, like you said, I also thought the president had gone on vacation sometime this year, but I'm not sure of the time again. And I also am aware that he just came back from a 12-day
foreign trip.
Yes, foreign trips, and the last one that he left for 12 days, and he had to go to Brazil and France and one other country or something like that. But then it's like the president traveling to many Nigerians are becoming very, very frequent, and even as frequent as the former foreign president of Nigeria, late General Buhari, was literally living out of this country for the 8 years that he was president. And you can see the consequence of that very absence on the government that he led and how Nigeria fared. Many Nigerians think the president should be able to sit back and do the work of Nigeria, because Nigeria has many pressing needs. Not that he's not entitled to his vacation. He's very much entitled to his vacation. He's very much entitled to his rest, and he should have them. But then I wish he's having this vacation in some beautiful place in Nigeria. Now, many Nigerians wish that he's having this vacation in some safe place in Nigeria, because this habit of Nigerian presidents or leaders, governors, jetting out of the country, the name of vacation. Why can't you make your state? Why can't you make our environment safe and conducive so that other presidents of other countries can even come to Nigeria on vacation? Because I don't know anybody who wanted to rest that has come to Nigeria, and we believe that 20-something years of democracy is enabled to create a kind of safe environment where our president can also vacation. And when the president placed an order for yachts, many Nigerians question Why yacht? You live in Abuja. Why are you buying a luxury yacht? Some of us thought that he invested in a luxury yacht so that he can live on water and vacation on top of our many vast oceans. But now he doesn't consider our waters safe. He doesn't consider our land safe. And he doesn't consider our air safe. He's always out of the country. This is affecting the economy because at the end of the day, it is the taxpayers' money that is being spent on these things. And at the end of the day, the work that they are needed to be done is not being done. The presidency said it's a working vacation. I thought vacation should be vacation, and work
should be work.
Should be work. This idea of working vacation, I mean, he will come back again, not rested, because if he's working while he's vacating, that means he's not actually on vacation.
That's it.
And there's underlining, and it leaves a lot of speculation. Is he actually going out because he wants to vacation and rest? Or is there another reason why he's frequently out of the country? I think the presidency should be transparent and open and take Nigerians into confidence to explain what is going on. I don't think Nigeria is a very big nation. It's one of the biggest nations in Africa, and I don't think our president should be much out of the country than he is inside the country. I think he should spend more time because we have a lot of challenges in security, have a lot of challenges in our economy. We have a lot of challenges in our healthcare, education system, and stuff like that. I just want to see him sit back and work on the problems and the challenges Nigerians are facing. People are suffering. They want succor. They want to move away from this very, very tough situation they are. And they want to see you actually working for them, but not when you make election promises and before you say Jack, you're out of the country and literally live out of the country. It is our foreign exchange, it is our taxpayers' money that is being wasted. And apart from that, it is a work for which you said, I am going to deliver on, that is not being done. Because anytime you're out, Nigeria is on autopilot, given the fact. I'm not even sure that for that 10 days, if there was proper transmission of power to the vice president, so that at least we'll know who is in charge of Nigeria in the next 10 days that is going to be away. So, assuming that he's transmitting power to the vice president, they will be able to know that at least this is who is in charge. None of these things have been communicated to Nigerians. And we have not seen the vice president coming up to say, I'm in charge. The president is out of the country. So we want to see things done very, very well. We want to see things done properly in Nigeria, not the way it is being done now. Merely people are complaining. And like I said, the president is entitled to his vacation. He wants rest, he's entitled to it. But we wish that he's not resting more than he's working. And we wish that he is doing this rest in the country. And it is for him. He is the only one that has the power to make Nigeria safe in the next 4 years. In the next 4 years that he's in power, or the remaining years of his staying in power. He's the only one that can make Nigeria better. So let him sit down and make Nigeria better, so that I don't know if he retires from president, if he's going to go abroad and start living abroad. He's going to stay in Nigeria.
Let me ask you, if you say, why is he not vacationing in Nigeria? I mean, give me 1, 2, 3 places that he could possibly vacation in Nigeria.
I grew up to know about the Yankari Game Reserve. Bauchi was a beautiful place when I was there. I did my youth service there. We have Obodu Cattle Ranch, very nice place, one of the best places in the world. You can vacation there. I mean, Lagos is quite a beautiful place, and a lot of places start opening up in Lagos. And if there's none, he can build one. 8 years of APC, 16 years of PDP is enough to create a Camp David in Nigeria. I mean, where you vacation? Are you going to vacation in the whole city? Even where he has gone to, it's not maybe an enclosure, maybe a hotel or a good place that he's going to be. There are beautiful places in Nigeria. He can come to my house and vacation there. What are you talking about? It's so big. Almost every state has a presidential lodge.
Yeah.
I mean, why can't he go to any of these states and have a beautiful vacation? And that will enable him to even understand the challenges of those states. and then be able to see how you can deal with Nigeria, except you begin to actually see Nigeria as a destination. Then you don't expect foreign direct investment to come to your country when you are running away from your country. If you are not there, I mean, why are you asking foreigners who have 24 hours life supply, social security, I mean, good roads to, I mean, asking them to come to your country, but yourself, you don't trust any place in your country that you can rest. Make it peaceful. Make it nice.
Now talking about whether he needs to sit back at home so he can tackle Nigeria's several issues. We live in a tech-driven generation, and it would seem to me that you can work from anywhere. You can work from anywhere. So, don't you think that even if he's not in Nigeria physically, with the power of technology, he can get a whole lot of things done?
Yeah, yes, I believe in the power of technology. But you see, the people that you're working for actually want to see that you are working for them. Being a Nigerian president,
that optics
need to be there. The people need to see that you're working for them. Being a Nigerian president or a Nigerian governor is not a part-time job. It's not a remote job that you can say you are anywhere and you are working for the state. When you are doing your campaign, you didn't tell them that I'm not going to live in Nigeria. I'm going to work for you using my laptop or my telephone because it's a tech world. And you ask yourself, other presidents of other countries, how frequently are they leaving their country? How frequently has the American president come to Nigeria? Has he come to Africa? Has the French president come to Nigeria? Has he come to anywhere in Africa in recent time? I don't think so. Has the British Prime Minister come to Nigeria or to anywhere in Africa? I don't think so. Has the Russian president come to anywhere in Africa or to Nigeria? I don't think so. Now, when they have not done this, why are you frequenting France? You are frequenting France to the extent that nobody is saying welcome again. Because the first time you came, the president of France may have welcomed you. Yeah. And next week you are back there again. And after 2 months, you wonder why are you coming every day? Why am I rolling out the red carpet for you every day? There's a thing that my people used to say that when you see your in-law so frequently, you may not offer him a good meal again. You just go and roast some bad yam and give to him because he's always available. But if you're an in-law that comes once in a blue moon, you will kill goat, you will kill fowl, you will serve him very nice meal. But if he becomes so frequent, I don't think your in-law will every day go and kill his goat because you are coming so frequently. What we're trying to say here is that the president have right to his vacation. He has even going abroad for working tours, like he went to Brazil. You understand?
Yes.
The president have right to do that. He's the chief image, the face of Nigeria. He's the chief marketer and promoter of Nigeria. I don't think anybody can market Nigeria more than the president of the country if he is persuasive and understand the issue. I like listening to somebody like Netanyahu when he talks about Israel and what Israel has achieved in the world and why Israel is what it is. He's very persuasive, he's very convincing because he's selling Israel to the outside world. I don't begrudge Nigerian president, and I expect that a Nigerian president should be able to market Nigeria, promote Nigerian products, make it attractive for foreign investors to come, so that when he tells you Nigeria is a place you can invest, you believe him because it's coming from the president. And when you come here, you don't see that ease of doing business. You begin to wonder. But the president told me that when we come here, we are going to have infrastructures. We are going to have power supply, energy. We are going to have access to repatriate our wealth. We are going to have peace and security. But we come here, it's like Somalia. It's like Afghanistan. It's like a war-torn area. It's like everybody is on his own. It's like everybody wants to take bread from you from the airport. This is not the impression he created to us. That is why also you are going out there to promote Nigeria. You are also going to sit back more to do the work so that people whom you have gone to talk to about Nigeria will be able to, When they come here, they will see those things that you've told them reflect in the way Nigeria is. That is not happening, and that is why people are concerned, and that's why people are saying, hey, you told us you are going to work for us. They want to see that you are actually working for them. Don't tell them it's a tech age, therefore it's a remote job. It's not a part-time job. It is a 24 hours job. It is it is not a job you say you clock in and you clock out. It's not a career. For the 4 years of your life, you are giving it to the country. You've dedicated it to the country. That's why the country is, the taxpayers are paying for your food, paying for your health, paying for your transport, paying for your wardrobe, paying for virtually everything you and your family are going to be doing in the next 4 years. Even when you retire, the country is still protecting you and giving you all these amenities, providing housing for you, even though you have a luxury apartment. The country will continue paying you until the rest of your life. Even your children's school fees, you are not paying. Your grandchildren's school fees, you are not paying. That is why the taxpayer money is being spent on you, for you to give them your service, not for you to tell them it's a technology world. Therefore, I'm going to be doing a remote job. I'm going to work in from Paris for Nigeria. Excuse me. It doesn't work like that. Or it shouldn't work like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we'll rest that now and move on to the next one. There's a story about Jonathan talking about his betrayal. I mean, how he was betrayed by even insiders of his own party. And that's what led to his loss of the 2015 elections. You want to weigh in on that?
Yeah, President Jonathan actually was right when he said that he was betrayed. But also you should understand that politics is also a game of intrigues and betrayal, because it's a game of power. And what happened in 2015 was very significant, and that's why he spoke about it. Because from the inside, he was betrayed. Even at a point, he said that he believed that insurgent elements are even in his cabin in Aso Rock with him there, because everything that he's doing to make sure that the insurgency was curbed, all of them fell flat on the face, which means somebody somewhere is sabotaging. You're putting in 2.something billion on security, and it disappeared, and you cannot see the result, and people are still dying of insurgency, and insurgencies are still expanding before your present eyes. And coming to the election that he lost, yes, he was betrayed, even by his then vice president, who couldn't win his polling unit. It was deliberate, because they didn't work for the election. His ministers, who are from the northern part of the country, betrayed him. They couldn't, including even the chairman of the party. Including even the chairman of the party then, Alhaji Muazu. They betrayed him. They were, in fact, the people that he hoped that are with him from the northern part of the country betrayed him, because they too felt he was not supposed to run that election, or they had an understanding. Some say that they signed an MOU which nobody ever saw the copy of the MOU. Some say that it was a gentleman's agreement. But even me, I advised Jonathan then in a memo that I sent to the presidency to exercise caution on the side of caution in running for that very election, because the same thing that happened in 2015 happened in the United States in the 1960s.
Okay.
Yes, in the 60s, when JF Kennedy was assassinated. Okay. And LBJ, Leonard Johnson, have to take up from where JFK stopped and serve out the remaining 2 years or 2.something years of JFK presidency. And then he went in for an election, and he won the election and served for another 4 years. And he wanted to go for an election which Americans interpreted to be third term. And even though legally the constitution did not prohibit him from running, and that was during the civil rights movements, he took a fundamental decision, very significant decision, to say, I am not running. He's erred on the side of caution, because morally it would not be right for him to go for a third term, for what seemed like a third term, and want to further polarize the country. So 2015, even though I campaigned for Jonathan, but my sincere opinion, which I wrote a memo to him, which I put up in my newspaper columns, was that don't run, emulate LBJ Johnson. This is not rocket science. These are things that has happened elsewhere in the world. But was he betrayed? He was significantly betrayed by his party, and that betrayal has continued with the PDP, even in the last 2023 election. 5 PDP governors, they call themselves G5 or G whatever. They betrayed the party. They worked against the party candidates, and the party could not even sanction any of them.
Yeah, but I mean, we could trace that. We could go right back to trace the origin, the root of that problem. But in the meantime, now, because you're a legal practitioner, I think I would like us to dwell on this a little bit, because 2 days ago, was it? The papers were, I mean, carried Keyamo, Minister of Aviation, as saying that there's a legal clause, a provision in the Constitution that says that you cannot be sworn in thrice. But the Jonathan camp also fired back saying a court had spoken on it. What exactly is the position right now? We do know that it's likely that Jonathan will not want to jump in the fray right now. But if he wanted to, is he legally, does he have the legal standing to be a part of the presidential race?
Well, I will tell you that the law in 2015 is not the law in 2025.
Okay.
The judiciary in 2015 is not the judiciary in 2025.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see any judge in 2015 ruling against an incumbent president that wants an election. And actually, the court spoke in 2015 that he's legally qualified to run. And I believe by the 1999 Constitution that he is legally qualified to run.
Now,
because I mean 2015.
In 2015.
Okay.
No, but you said you did a memo.
I did a memo. The memo I did was on moral ground.
Oh, moral ground. Not on legal ground.
Not on legal ground.
Oh, okay.
But then the Constitution had been amended by the 4th alteration of the Constitution. The 4th alteration of the Constitution says, that's section 137(3). It says that somebody who has been sworn in twice into an office and completed the term of another person, of another person like Jonathan did, will not be qualified to.
Expressly stated like this.
Targeted at.
And there's no contrary legislation.
137(3), 4th alteration, said clearly, if you have been sworn in twice and you completed the term of another person in office, even if it's by 1 day, that you won't be legally qualified to run. That's Nigerian Constitution.
Right.
But then you ask yourself, this law, Jonathan served before this law was made. Can our law be retroactive?
Okay, is it not retroactive?
Yes, because the law ought not to be retroactive. I mean, in getting it in the law, looking at Jonathan's case now, is it being retroactive to say that somebody who have finished his tenure in 2015 and in 2023 you made a law signed by President Buhari that says somebody who have, do you get my point clearly?
Yeah, I do.
Who have served, sworn in twice, and completed the tenure of another president will not be qualified to run for another election. That is what the Constitution says. Then it is for the court to determine again. But I don't think Jonathan will throw himself into that kind of legal quagmire. And I don't think also any political party will actually throw themselves into that kind of legal quagmire, because I don't think also that the incumbent government in Nigeria will not influence the outcome of that suit. And I don't also see the
case may not even be disposed with until after the election.
And I don't see the Nigerian judiciary as currently constituted not to favor the incumbent government argument. So why would you throw yourself into that kind of if I were to advise Jonathan, of course you have a right to run, but look at the odds. And in looking at those odds, you also be able to advise yourself, are you better off a statesman that you are now? If you look at Jonathan now, he's
global icon of democracy.
Yes, if you look at Jonathan now as a person, he's younger.
He looks better.
He looks better than when he was Nigerian president. I watched his interview the other time, just a few days ago. It was Jonathan at his best. You begin to imagine, is it the same man they say was clueless? So Jonathan has improved so much in both candor and capacity and poise. And he has become a global figure. He has become an example of Africa in terms of democracy. You know, when he picked that phone call and called President Buhari and said, congratulations, African leaders don't behave like that.
They don't.
But Jonathan behaved like that. And that since after then, respect that the world have for him increased. And you ask yourself, why are the same people who chased him out of Aso Rock, why are they the same very people
asking him
to come back?
They probably have learned their lesson. They have seen what happened. They've also realized that.
Well, the man is also conscious of the fact that they may be trying to ensnare him and they put him into a cash 6 because he said just in the paper today that politics in Nigeria are full of betrayal.
Exactly. They say one thing this minute,
and the next minute they say a different thing. He may be referring to those who are asking him to come and run. Their honesty and their sincerity. Can he trust their honesty and their sincerity? Can I take them for their words, giving my own experience? And if giving his own experience, he makes the mistake and allow this stick to choke him in the eyes twice, that means the fault is his own, not their fault. So for me, attractive as it is, I would love a Jonathan kind of person to be the Nigerian president because it's better than whatever have come after him. But like Obasanjo will say, what did you forget in Aso Rock? I think he forgot nothing. He has seen it all. He has been governor, he has been deputy governor, he has been governor, he has been vice president, he has been president. He has seen Nigeria at its oldest. He have seen people that he felt he could trust. He was betrayed by INEC. Jega betrayed him because that 22. If you want to look at the facts, 2015 election was no election. It was banding of results. People that were even in the field for PDP in some states who are running for maybe Senate and the other elections were after their own elections.
They weren't interested in
Jonathan's election. They were interested in their own results. They're not interested in Jonathan's results. So they wanted him to fail. And he failed. And having felt that, let me tell you, Jonathan is a happy man as I speak to you.
Now.
Very happy man. And if I'm to advise him, I'll take him to check your happiness now and look at the happiness of being a Nigerian president again. With somebody that will wake up in the morning and say that $54 billion is missing. And people will believe him and run the street and run the medias like that. This country is a very funny one, where people are not interested in the facts and the truth. So it's for Jonathan to weigh his options. It's not for me to tell him that he cannot run when he has a legal right to run. But like I said, the hurdle now is even much more than the hurdles were in 2015.
Wow.
I'm talking about the legal hurdle because the constitution now is explicit and it's targeted to curb the nuisance caused by Jonathan trying to run in 2015. The issue now is that law having been made after he has cleared his service in office. Is that law being retroactive? Democracy, civilized world,
does not
frown at laws
that are retroactive.
Retroactive laws.
Yeah.
But can you say that law is retroactive, or does he want to use himself as an example to try if the law can be settled? It's only the court that will decide that. And like I said, if the current incumbent government is interested in the decision and outcome of the court, the Supreme Court being a policy court and the Constitutional Court might see themselves siding with whatever the government of the day wants. And I don't see the government of the day as a government that will go and fold their hands and wait for you to
do as you please.
To do as you please when they know that it's against them.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow. So, Jonathan, I guess from Barrister Aguiyi here, the advice is clear. You can read between the lines, even if he doesn't want to come that very totally straight. He has said, you are the captain of your ship, of the ship of your life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess we move to the arrest or the call for arrest of El-Rufai and 6 other ADC leaders. How do you see that?
Well, first of all, I think Nigerians should brace up to fight against dictatorship and also intimidating the opposition parties. I think the ruling party, in the interest of democracy, should also allow opposition parties to exercise their freedom under a democratic environment. I also read in the papers, because I wasn't there, when El-Rufai, when it was reported that ADC members that came for El-Rufai meeting were attacked by thugs and dispersed, and some people injured. I saw pictures of people who have broken heads during that encounter, ugly encounter. And I said, this is not how our democracy should function. If the opposition parties want to meet, allow them to meet. If the ruling party wants to meet, allow them to meet. The other day I read also where the convoy of Malami
was attacked.
KBC was attacked and 10 vehicles vandalized. This is not what we intend to have in 2027. We want a free atmosphere where people can actually feel free to canvass and convince the people on why they should vote for them. The police said they're investigating a petition against El-Rufai for disturbance of public peace. I don't know where, I don't know how, but until they get there and hear what the police has to say and what the petition is all about, they can defend themselves. If the police invite you, you go. If they ask you questions, you answer them. And we need to see how it plays out. But what I would tell the government of the day, don't use this kind of tactics to muzzle opposition. That is not in the interest of democracy. If you continue to do that, you are breaching the people's trust and confidence in the system. And if people no longer have trust in democracy, what happened in Rivers State local government election will happen in general Nigeria, because people will not come out to vote. You'll be telling people to come and vote. They will tell you, our vote doesn't count. Why should I come out to vote? Why do I want to waste my time? People come and vote. They say, no, I don't want to come there and have a broken head or broken eye. So I think our democracy should be a kind of, our elections should be a kind of ritual and celebration of democracy, not a do or die, and not a war where people have to injure themselves and injure other people because of winning an election. I think the government of the day has a responsibility and a duty to de-escalate the tension in the country. We have enough crises in this country. We have enough problem with insecurity. We don't want to add political crisis into it. And they should understand that both the opposition and the ruling party, they want the same thing for Nigeria. Every one of them wants a better Nigeria. The only thing is the language they are using, and in the saying that they want a better Nigeria. I don't think any political party has come up to say, we want to destroy Nigeria. All of them want a better Nigeria. So, and these are friends. They have been in the same party together. They work together. That you disagree now doesn't mean that you destroy each other. That is not, I mean, but are you going to Georgia? Are you going to say what? I mean, of course, it's freedom of speech. You have to say your own about your party. You have to sell your market. And I sell my own market. Yeah. And in selling my own market, I use my own words to sell my market. You use your own words to sell your market. But what we say no is to engage in physical fight and scorched politics of mutual destruction. We say no to that one. But if it is Georgia, of course you can always Georgia. And he ends there. It's spoken words of mouth. And he ends there. By the election day, somebody will win, somebody will lose. And like Jonathan, he pick up that phone call and call the other person and say, congratulations. There's no point stretching these things other than that. And I don't see anything wrong in opposition party actually cooperating with the government of the day to advance policies and make sure that government succeed. Because if they succeed, it's in the interest of Nigeria and Nigerians. You understand? Yeah. Because the average Nigerian is losing interest in our democracy as it is now. Many Nigerians are losing interest. They are seeing democracy in Nigeria as hurtful and painful.
What options do we have?
The option you have is to make our democracy work. Make our democracy work. Make elections free and fair. Free up the space so that people can actually serve, both at the community level, local government level. Free up the space. free up the space. People can come out and serve in their state level, in the capacity that they feel. Don't close this space, because it is when you begin to close the space that you are giving room for other options that are not democratic.
That are undemocratic.
Yes, that is what happens. Because once you keep constricting the space, people who cannot be contained within the democratic space will start looking for options outside that space. And that is what is causing democracies to crumble in many parts of Africa. But so my advice to Nigerian politicians is very simple. You are Democrats. Freedom of speech is not freedom to hear what you want to hear. It's also freedom to hear what you don't want to hear. So when people are opposed to your policy, they are not your enemies. Then maybe they're trying to make you better. Maybe they're trying to bring out the best out of the policy that you have put in place. There is not an alternative to any option that is on the table. You listen. Sometimes you learn from the opposition. You learn from criticism. Don't make criticism to stop you from doing a good thing, because no government can solve all the problems at any given, in 4 years or 8 years. No government. Government solve problems and create problems.
Exactly.
That's why government continues. Any government, there's no best government. There's nothing like that. Maybe
so?
The best is in the past.
It's always in the past.
The best is always in the past. So you're trying to do your own bit. You see yourself creating other problems.
And the best is usually short-lived.
Yes. And
the short period.
Short period.
Because Yaradua died, because Murtala Mohammed died, they didn't quite see the entirety of their so we think,
so our best are the dead ones. Okay, so that is Nigeria. That is the word or Nigeria for you. You understand? So if you can look at the president now. He said, I've met my internal revenue targets within a space of 8 months to 9 months. What I projected for 1 year, I've gotten in
8 months.
8 months. Fantastic. Clap for yourself. At what cost to the average man? Look at the cost of living. People are dropping dead because they cannot afford their medication. The minimum wage can't take people home. They can't transport them to work. The so-called 1 month minimum wage cannot feed people in a week. A family of one cannot feed them in a week, cannot even pay their rent. And you're telling me that you are taxing people out of existence. Meanwhile, there are idle taxes that should have been collected and save Nigerians from all these poverty and pains.
Idle taxes, what do you mean?
The idle taxes, Nigeria is being ripped up and cheated by the oil majors. Nigeria are being cheated by the telecommunication companies. Are they paying the right taxes?
Let me quickly take this, please. Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning to your guests.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Barrister Aguiyi. Thank you for doing justice to your topic. I just want to comment on President Jonathan's ambition.
After telling us your name and location, please.
Okay, my name is Umar Gwagwas. I'm calling you.
Gwagwas. Okay.
I think it's better Jonathan should just hold his ambition and remain a statesman. I like that and I respect that, because Jonathan being the only president that saved Nigeria from what people predict in 2015. Different angle, different perception, different people believing that 2015 election is going to be what the outcome is not what somebody can even imagine. But Jonathan saved Nigeria and Nigerians from that phone call. So he should please hold his ambition and remain a statesman, globally recognized, globally respected. Thank you.
Thank you, Gwagwas. Thank you. Yeah, the phone line is open, 08029938365. You can call in right away. But in the meantime, let's get back to Barrister Aguiyi. Yeah. There's also the 5% tax that's coming on fuel from January 2026. Government is maximizing its income generation, whatever.
That is another surprise to me. That
surprise to you?
Surprise to me, in the sense that Nigerians are going through a lot.
Already.
And we know historically that anytime you touch anything on petrol, even if it is 1 naira, you have already affected every aspect of the economy.
You have already affected every aspect of the economy. Hold it there.
For the people.
Hold it there. Good morning. Your name? You're on air. Femi.
I'm Femi.
Okay.
Yeah.
From where?
From Zamfara State.
Okay. Go ahead, Femi.
Yeah. Firstly, I want to commend your guest.
All right.
You have said a lot that does the truth. This is what you said. Please let the president understand that Nigeria are passing through a lot. With what he said that he has achieved his target, yes, he has achieved his own target. His own target. So let's underline that one. What people are passing through is not really easy. If you should come to Zamfara State, you know what is happening in Zamfara State, you really know that things are not easy. So please let us look for what will carry along the nurses. They are passing through a lot. Please, come to the street. You see people running around, nowhere to sleep, nothing. They are understood. No help us.
Thank you, Femi. Thank you. All the way from Zamfara, that was Femi. They're saying Nigerians are going through a lot already, and Mr. President should reconsider some of these steps. Yes, you were.
Yeah, as I was saying, I'm talking about 45% on every liter of petrol you purchase, and also talking about 50% on every 500 naira on every 10,000 naira fuel you purchase. I think it's sheer act of it lacks empathy, because Nigerians are going through a lot, and already these taxes are already being paid. You remove subsidy from petroleum, it has achieved its level. Why are you compounding the woes of the people? Were you sent to kill all Nigerians?
Were you sent to kill all Nigerians?
Yeah, is that why you came to power? To tax Nigerians?
What are you asking? The president?
I'm asking the president.
All right.
Why do you think he can tax himself to prosperity?
Okay. He's asking Mr. President. I hope Mr. President's aides are watching. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, my name is Dr. Emmanuel Yaga. I'm calling from Benue State.
Doctor, go ahead quickly. Go ahead quickly.
Yes, I like what you are doing, your topic. But I want to talk specifically on the issue of Jonathan, President. Hello?
Go ahead, please.
Jonathan was a very good president. He's still the best that we have ever produced. But if you look at the presentation of...
Go ahead.
Are they really genuine? Are they sincere in their quest for him to come back to power? Let me tell you something. It is an agenda because they know that if Jonathan should come back, he has only one term, probably a term, and therefore it will be an advantage to a particular region over the other. And so they are calling him, in my own perspective, not for the purpose of he was good, he's a good person, therefore he come and salvage the situation. No. I believe there are some hidden agenda that some are looking at because they know they have just a single term. And so if he comes, remember, the North are saying it is their turn that they need to come back to power. And so the North will definitely feel that already Jonathan has a single term, and if he comes to contest legally, and so he will spend just 4 years and then pave way for them to come into power. And so the question I'm talking about here is the question of sincerity, the question of genuineness in their support to Jonathan. And so in conclusion, I would have to say, Jonathan, well, I don't have to judge like what the barrister said. I am not to speak for him. But if I were him, let nobody use me to settle score. And we better take my personal decision. Not for encourage and advise that let Jonathan stay where he is.
All right, okay. Thank you, Doctor. As for whether Jonathan will spend only 4 years, whoever is taking the Southern ticket now will spend 4 years. I mean, if Tinubu gets into power, he has 4 years to spend before power reverts to the north. If it's Obi, it's the same thing. So I think that is neither here nor there. But of course, morality remains. Hello?
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 Good morning.
Good morning.
It's Barrister from Lagos State.
Go ahead, please.
You see, this power puzzle of a thing is not a problem. Any person that comes to power, they are not following their manifesto at all. And this their manifesto is what they feel that will convince we, the masses, to vote them. Let me hold on to the one of the manifesto of our present president now. I was in Makori then. He said he's going to employ 50,000 soldiers in recruitment. Now let's look to it now. So many people that apply for this recruitment, how many of them have been taken without giving bribes or whatsoever? Is that the way our country has been run before? Look at our present situation now, more especially with the Benuans. We from the Benue State. We are known as the food basket of the nation. Almost most of the communities have been taken over by the herdsmen. I asked a question last time. Can you keep yam and goat on and come and see both of them? One will be gone for the other.
Yes.
That is what Benue is. We are known as the food basket not because it's a nickname. We are food producers of this migration. The most of our states now, most of our communities now, especially we that are having little areas to go, but especially within our environmental areas. Look at the cost of chemicals, the cost of herbicides and whatsoever. But the price of our fuel is still high. And our food stock has come down to the lowest level that almost the youth that are encouraged in farming are brought to nothing. Am I saying message? We want a good leader that will take everybody along. Taking one side along or making a concur in the National Assembly is not making sense. Every government that came, one or two persons might be say they are doing this, that is, but if you look into the right way, they have fault in so many areas. I know human beings are not correct in everything. But let's look to the poor masses.
All right.
Let's look to it.
Thank you very much, Collins.
People in Benue are suffering. People in Benue are being taken over by herdsmen.
We have to go now. Thank you. We have to go. I mean, so in the next few minutes, we will be rounding up, but I still have Dr. Aguiyi with me, or Barrister Aguiyi with me. And so 5% on fuel tax on top of increased tariffs, network provider tariffs, increased electricity tariff, everything, increased national passport charges. Everything seems to be on an upward trajectory in terms of prices. Why?
That's the policy of this current government.
You asked, did you come into power to kill Nigerians?
Well, those that COVID couldn't kill. He wants to use tax to kill them. I don't know who told you that you can tax yourself to prosperity. It doesn't happen. You can only way you can prosper is by empowering the youths, empowering the people to be productive. It's what they produce that they can eat and they can export. You see people calling you, telling you they have food basket not as a nickname, but because they actually are the providers and producing for the nation. But now they cannot even do that because of insecurity. And then all you do is putting taxes on everything. Where is the money coming from? What are you paying? Soldiers are ex-servicemen who made contributory pension. Can't even get their benefits.
Pension.
Cannot even get it.
Hello?
Yeah, good morning, Captain.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Captain.
We can hear you.
Yeah. I'm George, calling from Cross River.
George, go ahead.
Yes, I want to greet your guest there. He's doing a very good work there. Yeah, he has really taken his time to give us a very good analysis of what is happening in your country. My take here is that when we Nigerians are ready, these politicians will sit up because they are just rubbing shit on our faces and we are just keeping quiet. The system is boiling. Nobody is happy except those who are enjoying the current mess. But we are all keeping quiet. As for our brother Jonathan, we can, if there's a way we can have a meeting to advise him to stay back, we should do it. He should not come and rubbish himself. God has blessed him. He's out of that office. He should continue to enjoy the good name he has made. He should not be cajoled to come. Those people that are telling him to come, they don't love him. We have other people that can do what he has left behind. Let them continue. Obi is a viable candidate. They are rooting for him. If only INEC will not disappoint us again. Let Obi come and do what Jonathan would have come to do again. So thank you very much. Continue the good work you are doing.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very, very much. I'm afraid because of time, we just have to go. But I think that these words, oh no, these words really are touching when my guest says, is the president here to kill the remaining people that COVID was unable to kill? I won't be able to take your calls. We need to go now. And I must say thank you to my guest, Barrister Myclem Aguiyi. Thank you so very much for coming.
Thank you for having me, and I hope to continue with the conversation.
Right, definitely. Thank you very much, dear viewers from around the world. Thank you for staying tuned to Kaftan Television. I do hope that your day turns out one of the best. Enjoy Eid al-Maulud. Be peaceful, no violence. Let's enjoy ourselves. Let's be happy together. And thank you, my fantastic production team. You are the best. And it's bye from me. My name remains Dayo.